The terms conservative and liberal have seemingly become interchangeable in the United States to represent the political right and left respectively. The parties are the Republican and Democratic parties. The Republicans are the right-wing party, the Democrats the left-wing party. And the terms conservative and liberal represent social values. The terms traditionalist and progressive also being used interchangeably in this regard. But what if I told you this wording system has overcomplicated and confused what was historically the way in which ideological factions were broken down, and a system which would be more accurate to describing American politics overall today? Before we go any further, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who's donated to us on Patreon, Utreon, and right here on YouTube through channel memberships. Your donations really go a long way to keeping this channel going, and by donating to us across any of these platforms, you'll get access to some great perks including physical merch, a custom designed flag wallpaper, and access to an exclusive members-only Discord server where you can enter your scenarios for a chance to have them made into full videos. You can follow the pop-up on screen here, go to the comments section or description to visit any of these pages and support our channel, and of course you can do so by clicking the join button right below this video. If you can't donate anything, consider subscribing and sharing this video to help the channel out. Now, back to the video. Terms like populist and establishment have been thrown around a lot more in recent years, and that is because in the United States, parties are not monolithic ideological factions but broad coalitions which, since the progressive era, have largely only represented slight variations of the same ideology. Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson were both progressives from opposing parties, but with ultimately similar policies. Truman and Eisenhower were both New Dealers, and both Reagan and Clinton have been described as neoliberals or neoconservatives. American politics always develop an establishment, but also an opposition. The true political divide in America isn't conservative and liberal, which is the social divide rather, whereas the political divide is conservative and radical. Let me explain. A conservative in the truest sense of not social values but politics is someone who wants to maintain the status quo, someone who wants to conserve the establishment. In this sense, you have conservative Republicans and Democrats, conservative right-wingers and left-wingers. Politicians who at the end of the day are on the same side and generally want similar outcomes which lead to the conserving of the establishment. A radical in the political sense is someone who wants to dramatically change the system, shake up the establishment, and take it in a new direction. Again, there are radical Republicans and radical Democrats, radical right-wingers and radical left-wingers, but unlike their conservative counterparts, these factions are generally non-cooperative with one another, and the conservatives are typically able to play them off against each other. The advantage of the radicals is their energy and momentum, being far more dynamic than their conservative counterparts and being able to offer new solutions in times of difficulty when the conservatives are at a loss. In the natural life cycle of American ideological politics, one of the radical opposition factions will ultimately supplant the conservative ideology and itself become the new conservative faction with a new set of radical opponents. This was the case when the Federalists were supplanted by the Jeffersonians, who were supplanted by the Jacksonians, who were defeated in the Civil War and supplanted by the Republicans, who were supplanted by progressives, and so on and so forth. Of course, this being said, I don't expect anyone to start identifying as a radical Republican or conservative Democrat, since these terms already have strong connotations to them, but at the very least, clarifying the conservative-radical divide can shed some light on analysis of contemporary and historic American politics. The US of Z thanks you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out our 7 Ages of America series. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more. Mr. Z, out.